We're starting to stream, looking for co-commentators. And the stream is croskie and xuanet versus Skacz0 and Dralath. So this should be a very interesting match. I don't think it's very lopsided in either direction. Oh, maybe. Wait, did they match the wrong time control or something? Maybe one of them is not in the right area. Let's see. I think xuanet is having troubles. Okay, so I guess the first game doesn't count, but they seem to be moving now. Anyway, I've known Skacz0 and Dralath, who is airman from Fix, for many years. They were regulars at the Bughouse Gathering in Berlin. And some years they partnered each other, some years they partnered other people. But they are all very strong and very experienced. xuanet, I think he plays a lot more Crazy House than Bughouse. Of course, a lot of those skills will transfer over. Skacz0 especially, and Dralath to a lesser extent, are sack sitters. So I expect we will see a lot of sacking from them. But they are effective sack sitters. xuanet is down a lot of time. So he's saying he can't see the partner's board. Okay, we need to fix the partner's board problem. He needs to get in live chess. I don't know if this game will count or not. They have played more moves, so this game might count. They don't seem to be communicating in the chat very much, except for Skacz says no plus 15 seconds. xuanet says, sorry guys, can't see partner's board, which I don't know if his opponents could even see that. So I believe they're in voice calls with their partners, and hopefully they are getting through this. Hold on. We're trying to. Oh, okay. Oops. Now I accidentally pressed something I shouldn't have. Okay, xuanet says sorry, and he says okay now. Did I screw things up myself? Okay, you can still see. Yeah, I accidentally pressed backspace when I was typing to them, so it took me out of live chess for a second. But we should be fine now. They seem to be moving. Legion is saying 2 aborts ? So the question is whether the first 2 games counted or not, which I'm not sure of at this point. But we do have a game here. And what we see is croskie is attacking Skacz pretty hard here. But he needs more material, and he is not up time. The time is fairly even, so he's not going to get more material. I think Skacz is going to get safe here. He does have knight takes pawn, for 1 move at least, but king can go over here and try to eat the knight. He can go to g7. Okay, so croskie and xuanet are actually communicating in the chat, which means they are not in a call with each other. xuanet is saying trades are bad for me. So I guess he's worried about knight at c7 or pawn at f7 to trade the house. I think pawn at f7 is better here in general, but his partner I don't think can survive the queen. So he's not going to play pawn at f7. Here he's supporting c7 more and also defending f2, which is a good strategy. So this can force a queen on e2 here. But he's going to be more defensive. He could actually take this bishop and then defend the pawn. But he's just offered a queen trade here. I'm not sure why. Oh, I guess xuanet didn't take it because his partner would be mated immediately. They have played this. That's mate. Skacz0 has the first mate on the board. So the score, I think, is 1-0 favoring Dralath Skacz0, assuming those first two matches did not count. Whereas xuanet was having technical difficulties. Okay, that's mate immediately by Dralath and Skacz0. We're obviously communicating a lot more effectively. It's unclear to me whether xuanet can see his partner's board or not, but they are rolling with it at this point. Croskie says stall. So we see, as predicted, Skacz0 is sacking pretty much every game. That's mate already. And Dralath is also sacking in general. But it's working for them because they are communicating and are feeding each other what is needed. The score right now is 3-0, favoring Dralath and Skacz0. So based on the ratings, these teams seem quite close to one another. But because Dralath and Skacz0 are far better at coordinating, it seems right now at least, and probably to an extent also because xuanet is rusty, this might end up being a blowout. So a queen mates for Dralath. He's not going to get it at this point, so he is continuing to move. Now there's a weakness on c7. He's just going to let that roll. We might see a queen sack on g2. Okay, that's another way. Now he can make it a queen trade by taking this queen. Skacz0 seems quite safe. Croskie seems quite safe. This game is going to be decided on the Dralath xuanet board. This defends and attacks at the same time. That's quite a good move, that bishop drop. And if knight takes, I think Dralath will have more initiative over here. I would just take the bishop. So he could eat material. So this, again, defends and defends. It's a good defensive move. xuanet would like to get some initiative. He might move his knight out of the way so he can put stuff at c7. But he is down over 10 seconds. So again, with coordination, I believe Skacz0 and Dralath have the upper hand here. Knight in the back is pretty deadly. You can't go down and eat this knight. And this king is coming up to play. We're going to see probably pawn check, then maybe pawn check or knight back, maybe. Actually, knight back here is probably good because it's more defensive. Okay, he's going to get this other knight in play. That's reasonable. A good move. Croskie is down about 13 seconds, so it's very hard for him to hold material. And that's going to be mate. So good job by Dralath and Skacz0. Yeah, so the score right now is 4-0, favoring Skacz0 and Dralath. And croskie, rook mates croskie. And there it is, queen check, knight in, some other mate. Hey Swole, thanks for watching. We are doing commentary in the House Party channel, if anyone wants to jump in. So already we see a big weakness in the cross keyboard. But this time, xuanet and croskie are up time. Skacz0 already has a pawn for pawn check, but it doesn't lead to anything without more material. So he might do the pawn check to gain some time, but he's going to have to find some moves after that. We're probably going to see d5, followed by bishop to g4. I would think pawn check, d5, with a threat of bishop to g4 is a good attack here. So in the chess.com strat, Kayanari says, I thought this match was going to be pretty even. I thought so as well. Okay, that's interesting. He played e5 instead of d5. But good defense by croskie. He's making this knight move, and once the knight moves back, this pawn will be free. Time is within 1 second of each other. Hey, the underscore champion. Oh, it's just November 12th. Thanks for watching. That's okay. xuanet, yeah, he plays a lot more Crazy House than Bug House, but most people who play Crazy House also play Bug House. And I think xuanet is JME Rice from Fix. So on Fix, he played a lot more. Okay, so King over. He played a lot more Bug House than Crazy House. Honestly, there I would have probably promoted to Queen. Because if you don't have a kill shot immediately, then having the extra queen on the board is helpful. This attacks and defends at the same time. Great move by croskie. The time is fairly close. Actually, this looks like xuanet has a mate. I would play queen down. Queen. Okay, that's the same sort of idea. xuanet is going to flag. Oh, actually, they won this game. So xuanet and croskie are on the board. Yeah, our score right now is 5-1, favoring Dralath and Skacz0. Yeah, that game was incredibly close. So at the high levels, most of the time you will see the times within 1 second of each other, because time is so important in the game, and they always try to stay fairly even on time. So it's not unusual to see time so even. And they both had attacks on their respective boards. We see croskie is up time this time. So I think xuanet is getting back in the swing of things, and they're being better on time. And that honestly is the way to beat Dralath and Skacz0, because their instinct is to sack sit, and the best way to beat them is to be up time and to take their sacks. Ooh, I don't like knight takes c6 on the cross keyboard, because he's given up this rook. But Skacz0 isn't even taking the rook. He's going to continue to attack whenever he has attacking moves. And he's only going to take things when he no longer has attacking moves. And now he's finally taking the rook. We see xuanet is getting attacked, but xuanet is actually pretty safe. So xuanet, he might play pawn at. Okay, that's another way of doing it. If king takes, we're going to see knight at b5. But now he can put a pawn on e6 to get rid of this queen pin. So if knight takes, he should not take back, and he's not going to. He's going to grab the queen. I would grab the queen at least. Oh, but his croskie is in a bad way, and croskie is downtime. And croskie is not long for this world. So a pawn mates him, and Ska is up 10 seconds. So you'll get a pawn at g4, followed by, pawn at g5, followed by pushing g4. And that is the kill shot. No way xuanet can hold a pawn for 10 seconds. And one of the reasons, there are a few reasons why Skacz0 and Dralath have such a big communication advantage. One is they are in a voice call with each other, and their opponents are not. Two is that they have played thousands and thousands of games with each other and know each other's styles very well. And so they're asking in the chat if it's finished already. I don't think it is. I don't think the first two games counted. The score right now is 6-1. 6-1, favoring Dralath and Skacz0. So yeah, being in a voice call is a huge advantage. Familiarity with your partner's style is a huge advantage. And experience is a huge advantage. So all of those favor Dralath, Skacz0, even though the ratings look quite similar to each other. And they don't look so similar anymore. xuanet has dropped a bunch of points, but that is because he was rusty and had not played BWC in a while. When he started, I think he was 23 something. Anyone can correct me if they're wrong here. I'm wrong. Adi is saying croskie is also rusty. That may be the case as well. Yeah, if a team chooses to compete in the BWC World Championship, I'm not sure why they wouldn't practice with each other. But I guess there are some people who haven't prioritized this as much as others. So Skacz0 is probably going to win a queen here. Who do we have? Someone in the voice call? We got Naveen in. Hey, how you doing, Naveen?
Good.
Okay, so Skacz0 as a continued, he's going to continue to attack. It's a nice attacking move. This time is quite even here. xuanet is up about 3 seconds. But Skacz0 and Dralath are both attacking. So it's quite frustrating to defend all game. But they are playing Skacz0, and that's what tends to happen. Dralath actually has a relatively safe king. He's not attacked at all so far. And his bishops do a good job.
Wins this, they win.
I don't think so. I don't think the first two games counted. Because the first two games were like early aborts. So I believe the score right now is 6-1. And if they win, I think this would make it 7-1. That's true, Swole. The teamwork aspect of BWC is huge. Looks like Opper has, I guess maybe the previous game, he had some suggestions of how to proceed in the chat. Okay, xuanet finally has a pretty good attack here. So he can't take that because then there would be knight at e7 followed by bishop at g7. Now he gets this bishop and he gets quite a good attack. Not sure if it's quite maiden. Kayanari asked if there was a slip. So, oh, that's mate. Or no, it's not mate because king takes f7. Oh, that's mate. Oh,
Sorry, I had your
mute the
stream
VOD.
on. My bad.
Yeah, mute the stream, please.
Yeah, my bad.
No
Yeah,
worries.
sorry.
Wow, it looks like Dralath is living on h4. So that came down
Oh, they're
to
gonna lose one time.
a time problem. The score right now is 7-1, favoring Dralath and Skacz0. So 2 more games would probably be over. xuanet had a great attack there. I'm not sure if he missed a kill shot. Things were sort of too fast and furious to analyze it. But at least he got an attack, which a lot of these games have been blowouts where Dralath and Skacz0 are the only ones attacking. At least they got an attack at some point. These light squares are weak. And Dralath has a great attack here. Thanks for the follow from the _champion. Really appreciate it. So Dralath is going to continue moving. A knight is quite good for xuanet. He's going to continue going with what he has. As John Lee likes to say, the knight on g2 is xuanet's best piece. So that prevents Dralath from attacking him. If xuanet ever stops his attack, then queen at f3 or bishop at f3 could be good for Dralath. The time situation is xuanet is actually up 6 seconds.
xuanet is attacking.
Yeah, although now he needs a queen to mate, or otherwise he is being attacked. This queen at f3 is quite a good attacker move, and it also defends some weak squares that Dralath had. They are up 10 seconds, so croskie might go queen hunting, but I don't see how he can really get a queen at this point. So I guess, okay, the idea is the knights are a good, because if he sacks the queen, then he's in a good position there. Okay, so
That's mate. That's mate for...
Yeah, this is going to be mate. Oh, maybe not.
Oh, did he?
A knight mates, and a knight is very doable. They are up 3 seconds, maybe 4 seconds. Croskie says in the chat, okay, I hunt, after xuanet asks for a knight. So we're going to see some knight hunting on the croskie board. And his partner should be thinking about, okay, and that's reasonable. He's preserving the knight mate, and he has an attack here still. Yeah, knight at f5 is going to be the kill shot.
Yep.
So this match is not over yet. And honestly, it's a real shame that croskie and xuanet did not practice, as I think this match could have been a lot more competitive if they were more in shape.
What are all the games today?
There are a lot of games today. I'm going to put in the chat the schedule. If anyone wants to check it out, I'm going to try to cover as many of them as possible. So I like maybe d5 here. I guess maybe he has knight takes, but yeah, now d5 after taking that. I think he's missing out not playing d5. Okay, so now a rook would be quite good for him. In the absence of a rook, okay, crosskie's trying to attack on the left here. He could just take this bishop and hope for a rook. The time is quite even. Dralath is attacking xuanet. This is a good defense and attack move too, because it defended e2 on the Dralath board. So e2 is a weak square for a knight check. Dralath is really, we have queen takes rook. Dralath is picking up material, continuing to attack. But at this point, xuanet is fairly safe. So it's time for xuanet to start attacking. And indeed, he's going to do so. We might see knight f6 to vacate that knight square and continue the attack there. I don't think... Oh, wow. Okay. I was going to say I don't think he has enough ammunition, but this actually is mate. Okay. So the score is now 8-2, favoring Dralath and Skacz0. And if Dralath and Skacz0 can win this game, then it will be the end of the match. These matches are best out of 16, so it's actually first to 9 games, but you have to win by 2. They are winning by much more than 2 at this point. Underscore champion has the score. The score right now is 8-2, favoring Dralath and Skacz0. So xuanet would love to attack here. It looks like he is going to attack. If his partner can get him a bunch of diagonals, that would be a win. Oh, or that rook. Okay. As the game is not over yet. We are still going. So xuanet seems to be playing quite passively. And Dralath seems to be going for the initiative and attacking pretty hard, as usual. Okay. Croskie, this game seems to be pretty safe. This is kind of a poison knight because it would give him the rook file. It'll give Skacz0 the rook file. So I don't think he's going to take the knight. I think he's going to keep the pressure up in other areas. So he's sacked the knight to get these beautiful dark squares. Croskie would like feed. I guess he wants a knight for c7. He did finally take this knight, which I don't think was necessarily a good idea. He's offering a queen trade. That's quite interesting. I wouldn't think the queen trade would be great for his partner. His partner could have mated with like 2 knights and a queen, but that was extremely unlikely to happen. Oh, okay. This is... Oh, actually the knight guards h7. So he can just scooch over. And 2 knights would mate for Dralath, but that's not going to come. xuanet is up about 7 seconds. His partner has a decent position. A knight is really good for croskie. The time is now within 1 second, though.
Hey, I gotta go. See you later.
Okay, thanks for joining us for a little bit. I'll see you later, Naveen. We can see knight check, and then take the queen to continue the attack. The threat now is pawn at d7. Croskie has a very safe king. Legion Destroyer is asking in the chat, is this a comeback? We shall see. So, if xuanet can live, I think croskie is going to have a mate here. And he's taking advantage of these dark square diagonals. Bishop would mate. Can he use the queen as a bishop? I would play queen at h6. Yeah, I think he just missed mate there. But this probably mates too. I guess this mates too with queen takes pawn, queen takes h7. So the mate I think he missed was queen at h6, followed by knight takes h7. And then he could have dropped the rook in. but this probably still mates anyway. Ooh. But that's a timeout win. That was just very close. And all the trades that croskie made or were offered in the future, like this queen trade, were very bad for the Dralath xuanet board because Dralath was attacking. That is the mate. That is the match. And the final score is 9-3. Favoring Dralath and Skacz0. I'm gonna put that in the chat here. Let's see. What did I say? 9-3. Yeah, well done, Dralath and Skacz0, who will advance to the next round. If you're interested in what the matchups are, I'm going to put a link to the ladder in the chat. So I think a mate was missed on the croskie board that didn't require giving any pieces. So assuming his partner could live, let me look back at this real quick. Okay, so for those of you who can see the stream here, I believe queen at h6 was a pretty good move for croskie to cut off the king from being able to get out. And the idea is, if he moves over, he still had a rook in hand. So rook at e7, king over. One of the rooks can take this bishop, and I'm sure this is going to lead to a mate, because that king isn't getting anywhere, and eventually these knights can come in to play. If, on the other hand, he blocks, then there were a few things to do. He could have pawn checked there, but what I think a good continuation would be is knight takes h7. Knight takes h7, forcing the king over, and then again you have the rook check to do the kill punches. But that was a very interesting match overall. Okay, I'm gonna stop following croskie here. And I'm glad we got to see it. Congratulations to Dralath and Skacz0. Coming up later today at 12 p.m., we have the under 2000 section of Trubaldalzi and Corte Broke versus Lucci, who's Pepe Lu from Lichess, and Joanna Tries. And Pepe Lu and Joanna Tries are both streamers. At 12:30, we have Crimson Vortex, and this is all Eastern time, by the way, which is where I am. For me right now, it is about 11 a.m. So at 12:30, we have Crimson Vortex Eskin versus Muchin Medje, also known as Drunken Mushy or River Bear, partnered with Physician. At 2 p.m., we have Art of Deception, Art of Induction versus 12-Teen Chicken Cross Road. At 3 p.m., we have 1800 Strength, Chess Brainiac 13 versus Tigers 217 and Quick Dash. At 4 p.m., we have J Kid Jr. 22 and Gogo Burritos versus Darvak and 111 Michael. And I hope to cover all of those matches. Blunderman is pointing out, let's take a look at this real quick, that he could just move the rook up to block with that. Let me see. So that's interesting. That could be a good continuation. Yeah, maybe that does save him. So in that case, if he blocks with the rook, he still has knight takes pawn. And then if the king moves over this other way, then hold on. Then there is knight takes f6. And this pawn is gone at that point. So let me see, where did this come from? Okay, so this pawn is gone at this point. So he can't move this way. So I think it still worked out for him. Knight at e6 is interesting, says Opera. That's true. Another interesting variation. Unfortunately, chess.com doesn't have a good analysis mode because it would be fun to analyze this game in more detail. So our next match is not for another hour. So I'm going to raid someone at this point and open to suggestions. I'm thinking of raiding either M. Kiva or Mr. Bombastic. Let's check out what M. Kiva is doing here. He does Bughouse sometimes. He is not doing Bughouse right now.
Quite rare phenomena, if indeed.
Mr. Bombastic tends to play a variance, so we're going to raid Mr. Bombastic. Thanks everyone for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you all have a great day, and I hope to see you in an hour for the next Bughouse World Championship match, which I will be streaming as well. Have a great day, everyone.